So I mentioned in a recent video that there is a little bit of a housing crisis here in Koh Samui at the moment. Combination of high season and the troubles in Eastern Europe mean that we have more people than usual. Now, I put up an early high season video the other day, which is up there. That was about 10 days ago when I recorded that, and the amount of people here in that time has almost doubled. Certainly to the eye anyway. I went down the beach the other day and you won't believe how much busier it was. It was crazy.
And so that's what we're going to be discussing today as I show you around a 2-bedroom house in Samui, and we're also going to be heading out to sea. I've been lucky enough to have my brother and my dad, here he is, in Samui for the past week, and I'll show you some of one of our afternoons together in this very video.
So as you can see, I'm on a boat here today doing a bit of fishing, being a bit touristy, and there's a few more high season videos to come as well, so please do subscribe if you haven't already.
But before we go sightseeing, let's go house hunting.
So there's only 3 houses in this little complex that we're at right now, and when we first came to have a look, all 3 were available. My friend took the best one, the middle one. The following day when we came to move things in, the other 2 had already been taken, and they're all relatively long-term tenants. At the moment the ball is in the landlord's favour. I was getting COVID rates for the past 2 years, that's just ended. So I know people who have been staying in the same place for a long time, that the landlords get onto them and say that they wanted to go back to being short term, which is fair enough I guess, because for the past couple of years they've not really made anywhere near the same amount of money. But I also know people that have been told if you want to stay where you are, your rent's doubling, in some case 125, even 150%. So obviously with things as they are, Samui is normally quite a transient place. People come for sometimes just a day, 2 days, 3 days a week. Obviously there's the regulars that do come for 2 weeks or a month, but right now we've got a lot of extended visitors that are staying sort of indefinitely because of the situation in Eastern Europe, and as such there really is very, very little in the way of housing options at the moment in Koh Samui, and I think around Thailand in general. People that have been in Phuket there recently had big problems trying to find places to stay and get bikes and stuff. And my brother is here in Lamai at the moment. He's on this boat with me right now, and we drove around for 40 minutes the first day he got here and went from bike shop to bike shop to bike shop way outside Lamai. Could not find a single bike. It wasn't till later that night that someone finally called us, the lady I know, and he ended up getting it for a very good price. But really the place is full. So finding a house of any kind at the moment is kind of tricky, but especially for a decent price. Now, someone I know got lucky right before high season kicked in. They came to find a place and they were kind of worried themselves and ended up taking more or less the first place that they saw. Ended up being a really good decision. It's a nice place, they got a good price. Now, I've already done a cost of living in Thailand video a few months ago and it'll be up there now. But I probably need to make a new one because the price has recently gone up, not just in rent, across the board. It's gotten a little bit more expensive to live here. Do need to maybe do a follow-up, but for today we're looking at a bargain. Alright, so an unspecified location in Koh Samui. We have these 3 houses and a really nice private garden here. A few little mates here. Hello guys. There was 4, a 5th one's come. The 5th one isn't as friendly, having a few problems with my dog. So now let's check this section of the garden actually before we go in, because I don't know if he's got any plans to do this up or not. It's a nice garden, isn't it? But if we look over here, there is a unused, empty, quite dirty swimming pool, which, to be honest, for the tenants it's probably better that that's empty, because if he had bothered to fill it up he probably had 4,000 or 5,000 a month to the rent, and he could charge more than that maybe. I'm lucky I've got a place without a swimming pool. I don't really care for swimming pools, and I certainly don't care to pay the price that people want for them. But it's increasingly difficult to find a place in Samui now that doesn't come with a swimming pool. All the new places are being built with them.
Okay, so let's take a look inside, shall we?
Now before we go into the house, I do just want to give a massive and long overdue shout out to Mark H. Mark was very, very kind to go on Christmas Day to buymeacoffee.com/Thairish Sun and buy 5 coffees. Now that translates, after they've taken their fee and the conversion rate, to about 500 baht. I spent that 500 baht this past Saturday, went to the Muay Thai in Lamai with my dad, my brother, my sister-in-law and my mate. I got the first round in. I say I did, you did, Mark. 5 sang sums, 500 baht. Thank you so much, mate, for your continued support. It really does mean the world. I've got a couple more shout outs to do, but I'll save them for a later video. Let's crack on. All right, so that leads into a nice little kitchen area here with storage. Now, when my friend moved in, they've had it decorated. Also, these 2 presses weren't there, but the landlord put them in. It's also a new sink. This my friend had built in the corner for storage. The bathroom. This is the first of 2 bathrooms. This is the public one, I guess you'd say, for everybody. And if we swing around here to get the reverse view, a nice big TV, and I really like this sofa which pulls out American style, I would say. That something that reminds me of when I was going to America with my family when I was younger. And this is bedroom 1, just adjust the lighting. So this is bedroom 1. This is the one that is not an ensuite. But what it does have is this lovely and quite large balcony area. And then inside you have a TV. Let's get this right. And then inside you have a TV, double bed, bedside locker. The fan, again, I think it was my friend's. Massive wooden wardrobe. Another bit of storage. I think maybe my friend bought that. I don't remember that being there when we were viewing the house. And in bedroom 2, another big double bed. This is the ensuite room. As we swing around, you'll see with one of those large wooden wardrobes. And this one has private bathroom attached. Really nice little house, this. So in terms of price, my friend actually got really lucky, and when we came, all 3 of these houses were available. The following day when we came back, 2 either side had been rented. If the landlord had known that was going to happen, they probably wouldn't have negotiated. But when we first came, he wanted 15,000 a month. Now I tried to negotiate in Thai, and we were having a bit of a chat, and I could only get him down to 14,200 a month. But when my friend took over, because by now they really did quite like the place, and we were there a long time, but eventually he came down with a couple of conditions, but he came down to 12,000 baht a month. Now my friend's staying there for 6 months. They also paid up front. In the current climate, this is a fantastic bargain for 12,000 a month. That's about £300 English, right? A tenner a night, amazing.
Okay, so now for that family fishing trip I mentioned. Setting sail from the northeast of the island, we were sandwiched between the picturesque shores of both Koh Samui and Koh Phangan, and knew that even if we didn't catch a sausage, we could hardly go wrong. Just look at this scenery. Our bait for the day was squid, and during our 6.5 hours on board, we stopped off at 5 different locations to try our luck at little fishing. After a slow start, a couple of people on board caught a bite, but with no sign of a fish in our group just yet, I tucked into my emergency Snickers. And then it happened. Our boy Matt from Northern Ireland got our first bite. This absolute monster of the ocean was such a feast. I think we could have all called it a day at that point, but like savages, we kept going, and soon we were all in on the action. But this wasn't just killing for fun, this was hunting for lunch. And soon it was time to enjoy the fruits of our labour. To be fair, they put on a good spread, including other seafood, salad, rice, baked potatoes and barbecue chicken. There was also fruit, water and soft drinks for free as well, and beer for sale. And after a spot of lunch, it was anchor up and on to the next location for some swimming and more fishing. So the company we went with was Mr. 2, and this is just one of the different tour options he offers, with day trips to Koh Samui, the national park, and full moon party trips to Koh Phangan. This particular trip set sail at 9:30 AM and returned at 4 PM and included pickup and drop off to and from your hotel. All this cost 1,500 baht a head, which is around $45 at time of release. If you enjoyed this video, please do subscribe, like, drop me a nice comment and maybe even share with a friend or two. Have a great week and take care.